evening, all. Welcome to the June 6, 2021 business meeting of the Board of Education. I need a motion to open the meeting, please.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, for anybody who's not aware of the emergency exits, we have two off the stage and in the rear of the auditorium. I need approval of the order of agenda. I need a motion, please.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. We will go to the clerk's report. Christine, please.
Thank you, Mr. Springer. We can do a consent agenda for 2A to 2C. That's the minutes of the last three meetings.
Okay.
Be it resolved that the Board of Education accepts the minutes of the budget hearing held May 4th, 2021, the minutes of the business meeting held May 11th, 2021, and the minutes of the special meeting held May 18th, 2021.
Okay, I need a motion, please.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Public comment. Speakers will be recognized who wish to address the Board of agenda items only. Okay. All right, then we will start with our presentations and reports, and we're going to start with
I think we have Mr. Meyer at the
All right.
elementary school.
Thank you, Mr. Springer. I'd like to ask two of my fabulous faculty members to please come up and join me, Mrs. Botcher and Mrs. Tiskett. Okay, we are very proud to start this big night with our May Student of the Month, Camilla Pacheco-Washima. Camilla, come on up. Camilla is a wonderful choice for Student of the Month. Camilla is a kind-hearted, caring girl who is a great friend. She's always ready with a helping hand and emphasizes with other children's feelings. Camilla comes into school each day with a smile on her face and prepared to face whatever lessons we have for her with great effort and determination. She's always up for a challenge and brings her laughter and personality to whatever she does. Camilla's favorite subject is math. She's also an incredible artist who is very creative. It has been a great pleasure to have Camilla this year in Hampton Bays Elementary School. As we mentioned, as a great artist, she loves crafts. However, this summer, she's really looking forward to swimming and jumping on the trampoline. But who isn't? Camilla hopes to attend medical school one day and be a doctor. Congratulations, Camilla. And for our last student of the year, for our June student of the year, it is our pleasure to welcome up Samantha Zuniga. Samantha, come on up. Samantha has brought much joy to our school this year. She's kind-hearted and always the first to help a classmate or teacher. She's always eager to lend a helping hand in school and always working hard in everything that we do in kindergarten. She's a perfect example of a student who is caring, hardworking, and patient. We are so honored to have Samantha this year in our kindergarten class, and we're amazed at all the great things she's been doing. One of her greatest gifts is she is able to hula hoop and do her addition, subtraction, math facts at the same time. I did try today, and I failed greatly. Both at the hula hoop and the math acts. Samantha is looking forward to a summer of horseback riding and gymnastics. Samantha hopes to be a veterinarian one day. Congratulations, Samantha.
Thank you, Mr. Meyer. We will move on to Mr. Shug, I believe.
Good evening. It's my pleasure this evening to introduce our May Student of the Month for Hampton Bays Middle School, 5th grader, Eleanor Ramsey. These are the words Eleanor's teachers shared with me. Eleanor is a model student. She always does what is right and motivates her peers to do the same. Ellie is a positive influence in and out of the classroom and is constantly working to better herself. She takes responsibility for her learning and is committed to always doing her best. This encourages her classmates to rise to their highest potential and face their challenges head-on. Ellie constantly offers constructive suggestions to peers to enhance their work and is sensitive to the thoughts and opinions of others, and is always willing to complete any tasks that are asked of her. On top of her thoughtfulness and excellence in the classroom, Ellie arrives at school daily with a positive attitude and a cheerful, "Good morning." During our interview, I learned that Eleanor thrives on being challenged with math. She has particularly enjoyed learning about order of operations and is confident that this is something she will use later in life. Her second favorite subject has been social studies, and she enjoys learning about what's happened and what is happening in the world. As a new middle school student this year, Ellie shared that while she has had a positive year, she is also looking forward to the years to come when she can get a middle school locker and switch classes more often than this year. Me too. Outside of school, Eleanor enjoys going on her boat with her dad and her whole family. She enjoys fishing, swimming, and exploring the beaches with her sister. Ellie has big plans for her future, and there's little doubt she will accomplish anything she puts her mind to. She aspires to own her own boat, travel the world, and become a photojournalist studying ocean life. But first, she looks forward to having her first job working in a tackle shop. When asked to share what life after college will look like, she said with confidence that she would like to attend MIT. I cannot wait to hear about that. I'm going to add to my summer reading list The School of Good and Evil, based on Ellie's recommendation, and also reread the Percy Jackson series because Ellie is recommending that to me. Finally, Eleanor reminds us of her word of wisdom for being a successful student at HBMS. Number 1, keep your head in the game. Number 2, balance fun and hard work. And number 3, remember, we are all learning together. Congratulations to you, Eleanor Ramsey, on being named our May Student of the Month at HBMS.
Good evening. I'm Diane Fox, Assistant Principal of Hampton Bays Middle School, and I'll be presenting this evening our June Student of the Month, 8th grader Jocelyn Espinoza Gonzalez. Jocelyn, come on down. Jocelyn is an 8th grader at Hampton Bays Middle School, and she was selected by our staff members for being a wonderful student inside and outside the classroom. She has grown in a positive way from 5th grade through 8th grade and has made huge strides. She's an excellent student for her teachers and a great friend to her peers. She goes out of the way to ensure that everyone feels included and supported. Jocelyn speaks up when something is on her mind and will reach out to a trusted adult when she needs help. Jocelyn shared with me that her favorite class in middle school is technology because of all the hands-on projects. One of her trusted and favorite adults in the building has become Miss Negrin because she understands, listens, is very helpful, nice to talk to, and funny. In her free time, Jocelyn likes to listen to music, journal, and read fantasy books. She loves the Percy Jackson series as well, because it's another world that you can wish to be in, and it's full of adventures. In the future, Jocelyn wants to go to college and study voice acting. When I asked her about voice acting, she told me that she wants to be famous, but not too famous. Her advice for other middle school students is to live in the moment, because it goes by so fast. Jocelyn shared with me that she has been successful because of all the support she has had in middle school. Jocelyn, we are so proud of you and how much you've grown in the last few years. We wish you all the best in high school next year. At this point, I'm going to also give the speech in Spanish, for Jocelyn's family members are also going to be watching live stream. Buenas noches, soy Diane Fox, subdirectora de la Escuela Intermedia de Hampton Bays. Y es un placer para mí presentarles a nuestra estudiante del mes de junio, Jocelyn Espinosa González, estudiante de 8º grado. Fue seleccionada por nuestro personal porque es una estudiante maravillosa dentro y fuera del salón de clases. Ella ha crecido de manera positiva desde el 5º grado hasta el 8º grado y ha logrado grandes avances. Es una estudiante excelente para sus profesores y una gran amiga para sus compañeros. Ella hace todo lo que es posible para asegurarse de que todos se sienten incluidos y apoyados. Jocelyn habla cuando algo está en su mente y se comunica con un adulto de confianza cuando necesita ayuda. Jocelyn compartió conmigo que su clase favorita de la escuela intermedia es tecnología, debido a todos los proyectos prácticos. Uno de sus adultos favoritos y de confianza en el edificio es la señorita Negren, porque entiende, escucha, es muy útil, agradable para hablar y divertida. En su tiempo libre, a Jocelyn le gusta escuchar música, escribir en su diario y leer libros de fantasía. Le encanta la serie de Percy Jackson porque es otro mundo en el que puedes desear estar y está lleno de aventuras. En el futuro, Jocelyn quiere ir a la universidad y estudiar para ser actriz de voz. Cuando le pregunté sobre esta carrera, me dijo que quería ser famosa, pero no demasiado famosa. Su consejo para otros estudiantes de la escuela intermedia es vivir en el momento porque pasa muy rápido. Jocelyn compartió conmigo que ha tenido éxito gracias a todo el apoyo que ha tenido en la escuela. Jocelyn, estamos muy orgullosos de ti y de todo lo que has crecido en los últimos años. Te deseamos todo lo mejor en la escuela secundaria el próximo año. Felicidades.
Mr. Shug and Ms. Fox and
Thank you, Mr. Springer. It is an honor to present the High School Student of the Month for the month of May, Senior Tara Brozier. Tara, would you come on down? We have a lot of reasons to recognize Tara for doing some great things. A week ago, she participated in our signing for athletics. She'll be the college, but this time she was nominated by French Burkhart. And Mrs. Burkhart had a statement she asked me to read. I'm honored to have the opportunity to teach Tara for the past 4 years in Hampton Bays. It seems like moments ago when Tara had such sparkle in her eye while learning about the French language and culture during her freshman year. Her desire to learn, as well as her appreciation for the subject matter, has always shown through in her work ethic. It is not a surprise to me that Tara chose to continue on to AP French this year, which is not an easy task for anyone. Tara is super involved in her activities in school, as well as outside of the classroom. She has just recently been inducted into the National Honor Society as well. I'm very proud of her, and with all of her hard work she's put into French years. So Tara's going to be heading off to SUNY Geneseo in the fall, majoring in psychology. She's a multi-sport athlete. Again, softball will be the marquee sport that she's played over the years and will continue to play off at college. She was the manager for our wrestling team, played field hockey, and took a very competitive course of study here in Hampton High School, including AP Calc, French language, chemistry. She
editor of our yearbook. She has taken college-level pre-calc, AP Physics in grade 10, and she is just an all-around incredible young woman who's going to go off to do amazing things in the world. Tara's advice on the way out as she's about to graduate is be yourself, always be confident and positive, and she carried that message throughout her high school career. I'll be more proud. Congratulations, Tara. The high school student of the month for the month of June is Aldiana Verb. Aldiana, why don't you come on up? Before I read a statement prepared by her teacher, Ms. Pensa, I have to tell you that Aldiana starts off her day every day by making me laugh. Right? And when you come into the high school at the beginning of every day, there's these temperature stations. You have to take your temperature. And they get kind of finicky at times. And sometimes you take your temperature and it turns red, and then some kids, 3 strikes and you're out, then you have to have your temperature taken with one of the temperature guns from Dr. Greenberg or I. But Aldiana takes this to a whole new level. It's a sport for her. And she walks in the building every day, she rolls up her sleeve, takes a minute or two, shakes it off, warms up the arm, and she just looks at me, and every time, for 8 months straight, green, perfect, right through the door. I'll never forget one day, she walks up, same thing, shakes it off, pure confidence written all over her face, and it said low temperature. She looked right me in the eye and goes, "That didn't happen." 2 seconds later, turned green, moved on, and every day she just brings this incredible sense of humor to the building. She makes us all laugh, and just this incredible spirit about her. So it was no mystery to me when we heard from her teacher, Miss Pensa, who wrote something heartfelt about what she had seen in Aldiana this year. I'd like to take a moment just to read that for all of you. I would like to nominate Aldiana Verb Tobik for Student of the Month for several reasons. As we all know, this has been a very challenging year for everyone. However, Aldiana was still able to show tremendous growth academically and socially. She overcame many challenges and showed a huge improvement while keeping a positive attitude and being more responsible and independent. She's become a valuable leader in our class and has demonstrated perseverance and maturity in difficult situations. Aldiana has also shown an increased desire to try new things and has been working hard to grow and to better herself. She's currently competing very successfully in the varsity girls track team, where she throws discus and shot put and runs the 100-meter dash. She is a supportive team player, is extremely committed, and always gives 100% effort. As a teacher, it makes me extremely proud to see how far she has come and to watch this young lady continue to do great things. Congratulations, Aldiana.
Okay, congratulations to all students of the month. We were going to go back to Mrs. Fox. Another presentation.
Good evening again. At this time, I would like to take the opportunity to recognize an outstanding 6th grade student, Santiago Cortez Molina. Santiago is in Miss Boris's 6th grade class, and in her words, Santiago is such a hard worker and very determined. Santiago always pushes forward and finds a way to surpass any obstacle in his way. He is a bright and independent student. Santiago is also the first to clean up in the classroom and pays close attention to making sure that class growing seedlings are watered. Miss Boris can always count on Santiago, so it is no surprise to her or us that he took on such a leadership role in helping out at the HBMS vaccine site. Southampton Hospital contacted us to share about how helpful Santiago was with some of our vaccination pod days. He helped with outside operations and greeted community members in a friendly manner as he handed out clipboards. The Southampton Hospital staff noticed how dedicated he was to helping his school and community and wanted to make sure that we knew about his contributions. Santiago, your dedication and helping heart reminds us of what it means to be HB Strong. We'd like to recognize you with a certificate and a t-shirt that reminds us all about what it means to be a Bayman. Congratulations. I'm also going to read the speech in Spanish for his family members that are also live streaming in. Buenas noches nuevamente. En este momento me gustaría tomar la oportunidad para reconocer a un estudiante excepcional de sexto grado, Santiago Cortez Molina. Santiago está en la clase de sexto grado de la señora Boris y en sus palabras, Santiago es un gran trabajador y muy determinado. Santiago siempre avanza y encuentra la manera de superar cualquier obstáculo que está en su camino. Es un estudiante inteligente, independiente, y Santiago también es el primero en limpiar el salón de clase y presta mucha atención para asegurarse que las plantas de la clase tengan suficiente agua. La señora Boris siempre puede contar con Santiago. Por lo tanto, no es una sorpresa para ella ni para nosotros que él se hizo un líder para ayudar en el sitio de vacunas de la escuela intermedia. El hospital de Southampton se comunicó con nosotros para compartir lo útil que fue Santiago con algunos de nuestros días de vacunas. Ayudó con las operaciones externas y saludó a todos los miembros de la comunidad de manera amistosa mientras que repartía los tableros con formularios. El personal del hospital de Southampton notó lo dedicado que estaba para ayudar a su escuela, su comunidad, y quería asegurarse que conociéramos cómo él contribuyó. Santiago, tu dedicación y corazón solidario nos recuerda lo que significa ser HB Strong. Nos gustaría reconocerte con un certificado y una camisa que nos recuerde lo que significa ser un Bayman. Felicidades, Santiago.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Fox. Now we're going to move on to the retirees.
So this is the meeting typically in June where we have a super packed auditorium. By all standards in 2021 school year, this is as packed as we've been this year, and we're so happy to have folks back with us and amazing students who we've recognized tonight, and then our retirees. We've tricked the retirees to coming tonight because you're actually being approved on the sub list for September. So you're not quite done. Tonight we're going to recognize quite a large class of retirees who are graduating in the next 13 days from the Hampton Bay schools, who came to us from all sorts of various walks of life at different eras and different generations of the Hampton Bay school. They're leaving a place that is better than they found it, I think, because of contributions they've made to our program and to our community and to our kids. And so it's important to take the time to recognize and honor retirement and a career well spent serving children. So we welcome you all here. There's a few more retirees that are going to happen in the fall. They do have to come back on September 2nd, and we'll hope it's not a beach day. But tonight we're going to start with Mr. Meyer and recognizing some of our remarkable Hampton Bays elementary school retirees.
Thank you, Mr. Clemenson. I was speaking with Mr. T earlier today about a group of retirees that's retiring today. And one of the things that we kind of kept coming back to all the time is that as a collective group, as a collective team, we've all been together so long that we've gone through a lot together, both professionally and personally. And one of the things I think you always think about when a team's been together a long time, it's always easy to look back at victories. It's always easy to look back at championships and say, oh, that was good, that was great. Sometimes it's a little harder to look back at things along the way that were difficult, that were hard. Maybe when we lost a teammate, when they passed away, when we lost a student together. All those kinds of things really always flood your mind. And when I think of this team, I think of that's the kind of people they were, that when things were tough and when things were hard, They always came together. They always gelled together. And honestly, that's when they were at their best. They weren't necessarily at their best when things were easy, things were going along great. They were at their best when things were tough. When you really needed to come together like a team, they always did that. And that's what I'm going to remember, for lack of a better term, of this graduating retirement class. That's when they were at their best, when things were tough and when things weren't easy. And I just want to thank them all for that, for all the great things they've done throughout their career as a team together. I want to start with my first retiree is Laurie Floremont. Laurie here? Okay, Laurie's not here, but I'm going to recognize her anyway. Laurie's been with us for almost a decade, and during this time, Laurie's been providing great assistance with all our students in a variety of supporting roles, from one-on-one situations to entire classrooms of kindergarten children. We're all familiar with the struggle working parents endure as they try to find quality childcare for their children. One of the least talked about challenges is providing quality care for aging parents. Laurie's actually retiring, not because she wants to, but because of her dedication and love for her own mother, who needs her help. Laurie is taking care of every student at Hampton Bays Elementary School the same way she takes care of her own mom, with love, passion, and kindness. Thank you, Laurie, for your dedicated years of service to the children of Hampton Bays Elementary School. We wish you nothing but the best. Thank you, Laurie. Karen Lombardo. Karen, please stand. Karen Lombardo has been a member of the elementary school team for 20 years. Karen started out as a reading teacher for the first part of her career, then asked to be transferred to her own elementary classroom because she wanted the opportunity for deeper connections with children. Very few people at that point in their career would ask to have a larger class size. Karen did, and she thrived in her new position. Karen has built deep roots and friendships in every department and grade level she has worked in, just like she has built deep roots and friendships within her own family. Karen and I share a love of binge-watching TV, and we always advise each other on new shows to try. In retirement, Karen looks forward to spending more time with her grandchildren here and in Florida. Also, Karen may spend some time working in a new family restaurant business. I have to admit, I sampled the food, and it was delicious. Karen, enjoy your beautiful grandchildren, your extended vacations. Thank you for spending 20 years with our children. Thank you, Karen. Karen, can you come down for a minute? Sorry about that.
You have your speech ready?
All right, Susan Conrad, come on down. Susan Conrad has served the children of Hampton Bays for 20 years as our reading coordinator, reading teacher, and this year classroom teacher. She was instrumental in many elementary school initiatives, such as personalized instructional time, response to intervention, and rolling out a new reading series. Susan has always had high expectations for herself and our students. During personalized instruction time, Susan was always passionate about the link between reading and writing. One of the nicest things come out of this challenging school year was Susan created a homeroom almost entirely out of students and families who she had worked with in the past. It's been great to see those connections and bond grow in so many positive ways. Two interesting facts about Susan in her previous life before she worked at Hampton Bays Elementary School. She worked out with Jane Fonda and turned down a drink offer from John Voight. I'm still a little upset about the John Voight story because he's one of my favorite actors. Susan looks forward to doing some extended trips, especially to California. I want to thank Susan for creating and restructuring a great department. We wish you many happy years in retirement, Susan. Thank you. Sherry Vermette. Sherry. Sherry Vermette has served the children of Hampton Bays Elementary School for over 20 years. She is also the singer-songwriter of my favorite song, It's a Beautiful Day at Hampton Bays Elementary School. Sherry started a career as a teacher's aide, then continued her education and transitioned to a special education teacher. Sherry is one of the original examples of a strong farm team benefiting the elementary school. Sherry is truly gifted working with all students. At times during observations, I would marvel how she would conduct so many learning centers at the same time, each center skillfully meeting students' personalized needs. Sherry treats every child and every adult the same way with respect and dignity. One of Sherry's many exciting and varied responsibilities is dismissing the buses every day after she receives the all clear message. Sherry, in September, when we go to do our first bus dismissal and you're not in the front to release the buses, it will not be the same. After raising her family in Hampton Bays, Sherry is moving to Maine. We wish you nothing but a peaceful retirement. Thank you, Sherry. Debbie Joslin, come on down. Debbie Joslin has been a member of the Hampton Bays Elementary School team 35 years. First, we need to clarify the number, 35 years of service. Possessing a genius intellect, Debbie earned a perfect score on the SAT at the age of 3 years old. At age 5, she graduated college and was the youngest certified kindergarten teacher in the history of New York State, a record that still stands. That's when she began teaching in Hampton Bays at 5 years old. Debbie always loved Hampton Bays, choosing not only to work, but raise a family here as well. Debbie eventually left kindergarten and transitioned to second grade, eventually becoming the longtime grade level coordinator and junior achievement coordinator. Most people think school spirit and school pride is something reserved for high school and colleges. Debbie always took a lot of pride in elementary school spirit. About 10 years ago, when our English language learner population was increasing, Debbie volunteered to teach an English language learner homeroom. She loved the challenge of getting every student on grade level. Debbie's always had great relationships with her student and their parents. And after all school activities were successfully completed, Debbie has a passion for event planning. Just to name a few of the events you may have either attended or heard of: Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding, the debutante ball in New York City, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's wedding, and one of her retirement goals is to plan the wedding of Bennifer, also known as Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. We would never bet against her. In between her event planning business, Debbie looks forward to doing a long vacation in California, Florida, then some international travel with a first stop in Aruba. Debbie, thank you for all your years of contributions to the Hampton Bays Elementary School and the community. Enjoy your retirement. You deserve it.
Thank you, Mr. Meyer. On to Mr. Shook, I believe.
again. I'd like to acknowledge the retirement of 4 staff members from Hampton Bays Middle School. Laurie Dino, Charlene Farrell, Kathy Nicholas, and Maria Walker. Congratulations to the 4. I'd like to begin by talking about Laurie Dino, who I've known for 2 decades. First, we taught together at the elementary school. The last 11 years, we've been together at the middle school. In that time, I've come to know Laurie as a teacher who is all about her students and all about doing whatever it takes to bring them to their personal best. She is widely respected by her colleagues and loved by her students, and with good reason. Warm demander is a term we use for the ultimate middle school teacher. Mrs. Dino, who has taught 7th and 8th grade math, as well as algebra, was a warm demander before it became a term in education. You may think she teaches math, and in some ways you're right. A warm demander like Mrs. Dino, however, expects great things from her students. She convinces students of their own brilliance, and she helps kids strive toward their potential with self-discipline and a structured environment. She builds trust with kids and has made a career of believing in what at first seems impossible. Yes, she teaches math, but first and foremost, she teaches kids to embrace lifelong learning through mathematics. Anyone who works with Mrs. Dino will tell you every interaction presents a chance to learn, and that's including adults. She's taught me so much about thinking differently, about homework, grading, assessments, and how teaching and learning is improved when data and research guides our decisions. Mrs. Dino, by example, has taught her students the meaning of the term productive struggle. Math, as Mrs. Dino has taught, it is about more than just getting the right answers. It's also about the process. Mrs. Dino teaches her students about practicing perseverance and flexible thinking. The key in Mrs. Dino's classes have been about working through a problem, thinking outside the box, and minimizing discouragement along the journey to learning. That's what makes math beautiful. Finally, I'd like to share a brief story about Mrs. Dino. It comes along with a bit of a public apology from me. Several years ago, on a hot and sticky June night, we had our nearly 100-page moving up playbook set out on a podium. This binder contains every detail regarding our plan for a successful moving up ceremony. This includes teachers' personalized speeches they've written to honor specific students. Well, on this fateful night, when it came time for Mrs. Dino to read her math speech, pages had either stuck together or were entirely in the wrong section of the plate. To this day, I'm not sure what happened. How did Mrs. Dino handle this? Took a breath, looked out the audience of several hundred people, found the student who was to receive the award. Then she spoke from the heart. It was a simply amazing speech. That memory will forever be etched in my memory of at first unfortunate event that Mrs. Dino, a great and dedicated teacher, handled flawlessly. The end result was an 8th grader who felt like she was the most special person on the planet because she knew her teacher saw the potential in her. Mrs. Dino, I'd like to offer my sincerest apologies for this happening, and I'd also like to thank you for showing me and everyone else there what great teachers do, both under pressure and every day. To one of my most memorable warm demanders who I've ever worked with, Mrs. Dino, congratulations on an amazing career and best wishes on a well-deserved retirement. I would also like to take a few minutes to congratulate, recognize, and thank 3 very special people: Charlene Farrell, Kathy Nicholas, and Maria Walker. I've had the pleasure of working beside you for many years. Ms. Maria Walker and Ms. Kathy Nicholas at the elementary school and the middle school, and Ms. Farrell for almost our entire time together at the middle school. Each of these individuals has played a key role in service of students at the middle school. Each has attended school events in which a student required additional attention, assistance, or just plain old TLC. And each even has attended overnight trips, braving the elements of a multi-day trip with hundreds of middle schoolers. That is courageous. And they did so, and they do so every day at HPMS. I consider myself lucky to know each of you and see up close the difference one person can make in a student's life. And for many years, we've done this with smiles on our faces and with laughter of appreciating what makes working in middle school so special. Charlene, Kathy, and Maria, it has been a personal and professional pleasure to know each of you, to work alongside all of you, and I wish each of you nothing but the best and happiness and health in the years to come. Congratulations on your retirement, and thank you for your service to our students, our program, and our school.
Thank you, Mr. Shug. Mr. Shard.
And Mr. Springer. Earlier this evening, Mr. Meyer talked about the importance of a team and what each of these retirements means to the team at the elementary school. And it's not lost on me that the 4 retirees that I'm going to have at the high school are going to leave an indelible mark here on Hampton Bay's high school program and all of our kids. And I want to start by talking about one of the members of our custodial team. I was here this evening with us, Tony Dackey. Tony, please stand. For the past 21 years, Tony has been taking care of our buildings and our facilities. And he is one of the people that is directly responsible for keeping this building safe and prepared each and every day for instruction for hundreds of kids and for teachers. And he comes here every day with such an incredible attitude. He's always positive. Whenever I see him in the hall and we just, Tony, how we doing? He's in a great mood, and he just works so hard to keep this building prepared and ready for the important work that gets done here each and every day. Over this past year, Tony and the rest of the custodial team have had a very, very challenging job of disinfecting this building every night. Every doorknob, every desk, every door, every locker, everything in this building that needed that care. And Tony, in his last year working with us, knew that charge was so important for the health and safety of the kids, and he gave it everything he had, like he has for the past 21 years. I could not be more proud to work with him, and I wish you the best of health and happiness in retirement, Tony. Congratulations. The next retiree we're presenting this evening is Rich Inelly. Rich has faithfully served the Hampton Bays school community for the past 20 years. And when I think of Rich, I think about the love of science that he's imparted upon our students over the years. And that's from raising baby quail, from eggs in an incubator in one of our science labs, to bring them outside, out into the courtyards. I will never forget the shark dissections in the marine class. I'll never forget the smell from the shark dissections over the years. The boat trips, the wildlife preserve trips, the trips to the aquarium, anything that Rich could do to inspire a love of science in our kids, he did, went above and beyond to make that possible. Rich is also a champion for every single kid in the building, whether you're an honors student or an at-risk student in an alternative program, which he has also served for many years as both a director and a teacher. There are countless kids that I can think of right now that would not have a diploma if it weren't for Rich Inelli's efforts his hard work, and his care. He's been on many a home visit, knocking on doors to go find out, where that kid was that day that needed to be there to get the support that they had to have. When you walk into Rich's classroom, it tells an important story about what teaching is all about, and from the walls to the tanks, everything is just cared for in such a way that students know that love of science and that love of learning are critically important. So right down to the last day, Rich continues to do that. Rich, I hope you have all of the health and happiness, and that you pursue whatever passion it is you're looking for in the next chapter. And best of luck in retirement. Thank you. And the last of the high school retirements here this evening, Andy Phitopoulos. And I gotta admit, I thought about this one quite a bit. Andy is the definition of a Bayman. He grew up a Bayman, and he served the Hampton Bay school community for the last 30 years as a Bayman, as a teacher, as a math teacher, as a business teacher, as a coach, as a student council advisor, a varsity club advisor, an internship coordinator, an FBLA advisor, a night school teacher. It just goes on and on. There is not a job in this building that Andy Phitopoulos has not had in his care for kids, literally thousands of them over the years here in Hampton Bays. He's a champion for kids at every level. It has been an honor for me to work with him over these past 15 years during my time in Hampton Bays. Andy has traveled the world with kids in Hampton Bays. He's been to London. He's been on countless trips to Disney. Pretty sure a few broken down buses on 95 along the way, doing baggage changes and things like that. There is no job in Hampton Bays that Andy would not do. For kids, he's played in countless faculty basketball games and class nights and chaperone dances. I cannot tell you right now, I don't think I ever would have gotten any sleep on an overnight trip without Andy, who counts kids over and over and over again. You won't lose one. We'll never leave a kid behind, Andy Phitopoulos, on a trip. He is going to be sorely missed. It is very, very difficult to find an educator in any school anywhere that is willing to provide that type of care, that time, and that commitment. And Andy, I wish you the best in retirement. I hope we really don't actually let you go, whether it's coaching or some other way, we're going to just throw you right back in. But I wish you the best, and congratulations, and thank you for a career of doing utterly amazing things for kids. Congratulations. This year, Andy is going to be the recipient of a Scope Educational Award, and we'd like to present this to him at this time.
I'd like to take the opportunity to recognize Mr. Drew Walker. Retirement's a family ordeal in the Walker house. Drew has been our Director of Health, Physical Education, and Athletics. And when we say Drew's the athletic director, he always reminds you also health and physical education. In his time in that role, in his 23 years in the Hampton Bays School District, he's also been in charge of food services. He's also been in charge of transportation. He's often the first car in the parking lot and the last one to leave. Sometimes I'm not sure it leaves, and I just see it as the first car in the parking lot again the next day. Drew also epitomizes what it means to be a Bayman. and I use the phrase for those who live in the Hampton-based community particularly, you buy what you sell, right? So Maria and Drew live in Hampton Bays, raised two amazing Hampton Bays graduates, Ryan and Megan. Ryan is across the world in China, and Megan is here building her life in the health profession here on Long Island. And I know Maria and Drew couldn't be prouder of Megan and Ryan as products from the Hampton Bays School District. And Drew, in his various roles, served everybody in the district. So if it was a concert, Drew was there. If it was a commencement, Drew was there. But most importantly, if it was an athletic event, Drew was there supporting our athletes. You know, every athlete, what our coaches do, what our coaches need. He's a leader in Suffolk County and has been a Suffolk County Athletic Director of the Year. Hates this moment, I think, that we're talking about him, but built his career as a school leader, not as an administrator, and came to us from Hancock, from upstate, brings his upstate values, and I know that he built his career as a school leader in the light of his dad, who was a longtime high school principal, a gentleman and a school leader, and I know he emulated his career on much of what his dad taught him, on how to serve a community, how to serve students, and how to really bleed purple. Thankfully, he lives just around the corner from me, so when I take my kids on a walk, we can stop and ask the questions that are locked in his 23 years of experience and institutional memory. So Drew, as you leave, as the seasons close, you took us through a very unique athletic year, compressed, and keeping our kids and our coaches safe and giving them the opportunities to compete and develop and stay healthy. So Drew, we recognize you and congratulate you on your retirement as well, Simone. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2021 retirees. Okay, Mr. Springer, I'll stay at the microphone and keep going. All right. Normally we take a break, but the retiree and student celebration break tends to be chattier and longer, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep pushing. Students, if you and families, if you'd like to scoot out, you certainly can. The report's not going to be that long. Retirees, you're not retired yet, so I'm still the supervisor. You have to stay. Today's, here we go. You've seen this chart since July 31st when we announced our reopening plan, and since September 29th, we've been in phase 3. With 13 days left to go, we're going to finish the year strong. We haven't had a COVID positive case since April 30th in the Hampton Bays School District. We were hit pretty hard and pretty fast beginning October 15th, and nearly every day we were managing contact tracing, disinfecting, social distancing, masking, hybrid schedules, quarantine schedules, and we are making it to the finish line in a really positive and safe way. To quote Mr. Carlson, we will come out of the pandemic not limping, not tired. We will come out running because of the things we learned and how we work together this year. So I bring that just to remind us. Look at May and June right there. That is remarkable. Look at January. Look at January, the Hampton Bays schools. We're averaging over 2 cases a day. Sometimes we're getting 4, 5, 6 cases a day. And every day, Mr. Ferraro and I race to the shared spreadsheet that we share to put the 0 in, and so we can see where our daily case rate has gone. Take a look at that mountain. We hit our high water mark on February 5th. We were averaging a case a day by February 5th. We didn't have anything at the very beginning of the year, but look at that downward slope. It's a great number to see. So we're going to continue to finish strong. The Hampton Bays community, in addition to the school community, the faculty, staff, and the leaders sitting here right with me, the board who said, get creative, innovate, do things to make sure kids can safely learn and that our staff can safely work. The Hampton Bays community has been remarkable, just remarkable. You look on social media, you look in the news, you listen to what's going on elsewhere in our county and in the United States, we are totally on a different track. We told families at a moment's notice they needed to quarantine for 10 days. Working families who have to go to work every day, they made it work. They had plan B, a plan C, a plan D. So this is a testament to a community that works together. Ms. Fox at HB Strong, that's our Santiago right there. And that's what we have turned that simple hashtag into a value statement. It's a mission statement at this point. You can see those heights in January. Those were the average cases per week. We really came on the other side of that mountain. As we changed this week, we opened the valve just a little bit more, and today we implemented mask optional protocols outside. It's a step forward in the right direction. It's a careful step. Our school nurse team is remarkable at symptomatic assessment, making sure that we're monitoring carefully. We monitor carefully to make sure that if something happens, if somebody is sick, if there is a worry that there could be a spread, we can turn that valve back quickly. So as we come out of COVID, we build our confidence to take those steps towards normal. This was a step in that direction today. Lots of confusion back and forth over the weekend from Albany, from Washington, D.C., and from social media. So in Hampton Bays, we have followed the guidelines. We have followed the rules. As difficult as it might have been sometimes, we followed the rules, and we've stuck to that. Can't compromise and start picking and choosing what we want to do. And we're going to finish with that guardrail. We're going to finish with that really careful, objective way of thinking. We had that vaccine pod that Santiago's the boss of. And we had our most recent one where it was a focus with Stony Brook Children's Hospital, focusing on 12 to 17-year-olds. I'm going to give you a couple. That was the Friday when we had our Friday snow day in May. We had 76 shots. So in April, we had our first 2 vaccine pods right after spring break. We did 1,500 vaccines that week. So right before Memorial Day, we did 76. So we are seeing it tapering off. We're seeing more people be vaccinated. In Hampton Bays, it's about 56%, which is about the county average. A little higher than the county average, a little lower than the rest of the South Fork. But in that June pod, 84% of those 76 shots were individuals who are 18 or younger, so our students. 96% of them were Hampton Bays residents, and 66% of the clients were clients of color. We know that individuals of color are underrepresented in public health challenges. And so to see a number like that, it blows the county, it blows the state, it blows the nation out of the water because HB Strong, right? Because we do it together. That's all I'm going to say on COVID, because we're going to finish the year. We're going to finish a school year. We're not finishing a COVID year. We have our Students of the Month that we celebrated who are amazing. And whether it's a mask or a barrier or 6 feet or hybrid, these kids come to school and bring joy and learn and read. I need to read Percy Jackson too, because it comes up every month. But it's joy, and we're going to finish the school year as a school year. And we're going to celebrate with field days and commencements and moving ups and be really happy about that. And you can see the end of the month here. This is a borrowed slide from last month. I want to thank the Oakland family, Ms. Vicini, and her co-advisor, Ms. Turnbull, who gave our seniors a normal prom last week at Oakland's. It felt good to do that, and our kids loved it. A lot of kids are absent on Thursday, though. We've got to look into that. We have Varsity Awards Dinner tomorrow, Grade 4 celebration and field day, Moving Up Madness, I think we're calling it, at Red Creek, our 8th grade awards, our Pfizer vaccine pod, and then we move right into commencement week. So we need you to publicize that Monday. That's the community's opportunity to celebrate our class of 2021 graduates. Put them over the Ponquag Bridge. We invite the entire community to drive over that bridge for 1 hour. You can't go north. You got to go over the bridge and then take a right and head back through Quag. But it's an opportunity to celebrate, decorate your car, celebrate the students, because we don't have those traditional other points where we can all gather together. We were able to announce today with Mr. Richard and Dr. Greenberg that we will have one commencement ceremony. It was important to our class leaders. It was important to our class advisors that our class be together to graduate. We weren't last year. Remember, we had 75 commencement ceremonies over the course of 2 days. We're going to have one, as traditional as we can. Limitations on tickets, unfortunately, we have to limit to 2. We'd love big families to be there. We're just not there yet with the guidelines and what we can, the capacity that we can meet. But our graduates will be there. We will live stream for anybody who wants to participate remotely, and each graduate can have 2 guests at our ceremony. A couple of other business items. We do have federal COVID relief funds that have been given to Hampton Bays as part of the federal stimulus packages from the U.S. Congress and President Biden. This is one-time funding to be used over the course of 3 years for learning recovery, for facilities projects that support learning, and for mental health supports. So our leadership team is putting that plan together this month. We need to submit it to the State Education Department by July 1st. We'll need another board meeting members at probably the week before commencement, leading into commencement, to take care of some business end of the year resolutions and also to approve this plan. The plan will be up on our website for feedback from the community as well. It's one-time money. It's $3.9 million. A lot of money coming to Hampton Bays. We can invest in things that have been important to us for a long time, but we might not have been able to get to on that to-do list. Mr. Godfrey on our tech team brought a great idea to us last week, and that's the Southampton Town Community Access Channel. So remember that movie Wayne's World? And Wayne's World was community access TV. Those 2 buddies broadcast a TV show from their basement. The concept is the same. Southampton Town has a community access channel and is inviting the community to upload content to that and to schedule that. So it's public access. What we're going to do, we have the Thursday night at 8 p.m. slot. That's must-see TV. Isn't that when Friends was on back in the 90s? Thursday at 8. It can't fail. That's a great slot to be in. We are going to start in July, and every Thursday at 8, we're going to go into the archives, and we're going to pick an old concert, an old play, an old graduation, a basketball game, a wrestling match. We have years, and we have 30, 40 years of things that are moving from VHS to digital. We're going to start putting those up. That's going to start to get everybody's appetite for this. What's on next week? Tune in next week. And then as we move into the 21-22 school year, we're going to start inviting clubs to upload and create content and take advantage of that Thursday at 8 p.m. slot. So we're going to see what our club advisors and what our kids can do, and it's going to be just another window into the Hampton Bays schools that we can invite the community to be our partner. Southampton Business Alliance is reported to us this week that they're continuing their building trade scholarship. So instead of scholarshiping kids who are graduating as seniors, the Southampton Business Alliance is investing in rising juniors who are going to BOCES to study plumbing, HVAC, carpentry, and the electrical trades. We believe in CTE as much as we believe in college and university, as much as we believe in the workforce and the military. What's right for a kid is right for a kid, and we push you in that direction when we find out what you're good at and what you like. Southampton Business Alliance is investing in those startup costs at BOCES, the grounding boots that they wear in the electrical program, and the toolkit that you need. It's $300, $400 sometimes to get that going. And so that investment shows that we value that career, and we want those kids to graduate and become adults who stay on the East End and contribute to the economy. We're successful tonight right now, right? So we have the public with us. We haven't for most of the year. And so board members, I'll ask you to consider as we get into the 21-22 school year, July 6th is our next business meeting, that we move back towards inviting the public for public presence. We have live stream. We take comments and questions through that time, but again, through that chat feature, but again, another step in opening that valve. So I'll ask you to consider that, and we'll work with our clerk, Mrs. Pandolfo, to publicize that as well. If I can't advance the slides, my report might be over. So you might have lucked out there. The last slide, which will be on our website, there it is summer programming. You saw this last month. So I'm not going to go tick by tick on it, just to say the following. Summer is as busy a time for us as a school year. So as we pull away and take a break after commencement, we have a lot of activities for kids and staff over the summer. It's what Hampton Bays does. It keeps us engaged. It keeps our community engaged. So lots of things going on as you drive by our schools this summer. I want to thank the board. This is our last public meeting of the 2021 school year, the longest year of our lives, I think. This Board of Education members, you have been positive, progressive, and solutions-oriented as we have come to you and said, we need more teachers this year to create more homerooms. We need more equipment. We need more cleaning. We need to do something differently. And I appreciate that. As your superintendent of schools, I appreciate the trust that you've put in our community, our staff, and our leadership. So I'll take any questions that you have. That concludes my report.
Larry, have a report?
Okay, thank you, everyone.
All right. We will move on to business, finance, and operations, and we'll do a consent agenda from 4A to 4D.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Student services, if there's no questions, we will have a consent agenda from 5A to 5B.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes. Personnel. 6A only, approval of tenure appointments. Any questions?
I'll just mention that typically we have our tenure appointments here as well. For capacity reasons, we're going to go in a different direction here, but the 8 professionals who you see on the resolution, Lauren Diabramo, special education in the middle school, Sean Gill, PE and coach at the high school, Rebecca Kohler, teacher assistant at the elementary, transitioning to special ed teacher, Megan Padilla here at the high school as our choral director, Cassie Schofield teaching math here at the high school, Martina Sokol teaching special education in the middle school, Nicole Vincent here at the high school as a special ed teacher, and Crystal Whiffen, math teacher at the middle school. All of these individuals have completed their probationary period successfully. They've been observed by our leadership team. They have jumped into the deep end of the pool. All 8 of these individuals are involved in the school community beyond just their teaching responsibilities, and the tenure recommendations tonight come with confidence from each of the administrators here.
Okay, quick separate vote, yay or nay. Need a motion.
Need a motion to accept tenure.
Oh, we need motion first, I'm sorry.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Okay, Ms. Cohen?
Yay.
Aye. Okay. Ms. Scully?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Goslin?
Aye.
Motion passes. Congratulations. We will continue with the consent from 6B to 6H. I need a motion.
Motion.
I need a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes. Board of Education. 7A to 7D, my apologies. Need a motion.
Motion.
Need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Public comment, persons may address the Board of Education on any matters of interest or concern. The board president will recognize all speakers. Time limits may be imposed based upon agenda needs.
Number of people watch. We have 18 watching, but we were above 30 at one point. A number of people offer congratulations to our retirees tonight.
And so do we also, and also to all our students of the month. Thank you all for attending, and congratulations to all of you. I need a motion to adjourn the meeting. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you again, guys. Good luck to all. Enjoy your summer.